Diecast North is a channel devoted to the teen to adult toy collector, pop culture fans, and fellow nerd enthusiasts. This is a PG-13 channel. I might say some shit. Viewer and parental discretion is advised. Hello everyone and welcome again to another episode of Diecast North's Galactic Hooligan. I'm actually here with you today because I am excited about Bulkhead. You actually saw yesterday that I actually just got him in and I couldn't wait to take him out of packages. So far, I'm actually loving this retro 90s package and everything. I always want to say 80s, but it's definitely 90s right there with the luster of legacy and everything, just like right over there. I really am excited about this guy. He's a little bit different, but he's actually a lot better than I thought. A little bit of a spoiler, but let me tell you something. I'm really, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm really impressed. Actually, I'm kind of impressed and surprised. So, let us take a look at him at my review station, and let's go. Before we talk about this box though, let me tell you something. I really love this Purple Direction booklet over here that's full of like 90s goodness with all the teal and purple that you can possibly find in here. Let me go through it real quick. There we go. There's the instructions and now you know it. And if you've read this, now you know Mandarin. Anyway, let's get to the review. If this is your first time joining me, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. It's a small thing that you can actually do for me, but it means a lot to me. Also, if you're actually joining me again, welcome back. I appreciate you guys for coming back again. And now, let's go. And after one more drink of sparkling water for courage, we are back and we are here to take a look at Legacy Bulkhead. I was probably one of the people that was actually going to be the hardest on this figure itself and everything because from preliminary pictures and videos that we've actually seen of him, I kept on thinking that he was actually going to be like really lacking on like a lot and everything like that, and he kind of is, you know. But let's take a look at him through packaging first and everything. Finally, Legacy is actually here, and we are getting amazing artwork and everything like that, done in a very niche 90s style and everything. I really love this, and I really love how Bulkhead actually came out on the side over here. One thing I'm not exactly sure if I really like or not is the fact that he actually just like has his wheels just propped up right on the side of his shoulders right over here for all to see. I kind of wish that there was a way to like hide that into his arm itself and everything, especially with robot mode. Aside from that, I'm loving everything about this new packaging except for one thing, and that's the same thing that I actually complained about with the one of my reviews and everything. I have Ravage coming up pretty soon and everything, and I actually had Shockwave from the Studio Series, and the one thing that I actually do have to complain about is the fact that you can actually still poke your finger through this thing, you know. Like, I actually noticed that, like, now I actually had a good friend of mine that actually sent this over to me, Martin Sebastian. I am nothing without you today, Serenity, because like you have actually sent this over to me along with Bumblebee and Ravage, and I am completely thankful for everything that you actually did there. But one thing I actually still, and I have talked to him also and everything like that, fellow Transformers hooligan, and like this whole thing with like just being able to poke your finger right through the packaging itself and everything, I don't know. Now I really still am appreciative that Hasbro and Takara are actually trying to like lessen their carbon footprint here and everything, but I still don't like the fact that you can actually just like reach in and either grab them and steal them or something like that, or you can actually just like reach them and just kind of like say, ugh, look at this, you know what I mean? I don't know what you guys got. I don't know what anybody's actually got out there, you know? But I really do love this nonetheless and everything. You actually have like a good shot over here. It looks like Hot Rod is actually coming back again and everything. So I'm actually assuming that this is like maybe his legend style or a figure, or maybe we're actually getting another one. I'm noticing like a prominent like Optimus Prime over here, like red Optimus Prime. So that's actually awesome. I really want to know if they're actually going to do more with this guy. Ooh, let's see what happens. We actually have RC and Blaster over here and Bulkhead. And I am just really excited and everything like that because like from what I actually saw when I was actually shopping around for like more legacy figures is that we're actually supposed to be getting like a legacy Cosmos and a legacy Pterosaur or something that I actually saw in the guide. So I'm really looking forward to all of those. There goes the top, and there goes the side where Bulkhead actually is here. Let's take a look at the body itself. Bulkhead is really awesome. I was actually going to make this a direct comparison to his first edition version and everything, but I'm actually going to tell you right now, I kind of feel like this version of Bulkhead is actually in a class of his own and everything. No real comparison between this one and Magnificence that is this, because this guy actually carries a whole lot of charm on his own and everything. I love this whole entire upper torso section. I thought I was going to completely hate it and everything, although I do actually have my problems with this being clear plastic all the way, painted clear plastic all the way through. It kind of looks like it travels all the way throughout his body. I hate the fact that there's like so much cavity here and everything. Like you can kind of like go right through this and everything like that, and it all depends on like how you're collecting and everything like that, but he actually really makes a solid sturdy figure and everything. I'm actually really surprised at like how well this actually works. Now once we actually get through to like years of having this guy on the shelf or something like that, I would like to see exactly how he actually stands up against the test of time. One thing about clear plastic is that I know it's actually kind of prone to breakage. It's kind of prone to what do you call it, snafus, like say like hairline fractures and that sort of thing going on, stress marks and everything like that, whatever have you. They are, I don't know exactly how well this is actually built to last. That being said, don't keep this guy on the top shelf or anything like that, or if you do, be really wary of like where you actually put him and everything, you know? But aside from that, great design. I love everything about this, everything. That was very squared. G1 design here is actually very prominent throughout the whole entire thing. I love like his shoulders right over here, even though this thing right over here, the wheels sticking on the sides are kind of like leaves a little bit of a lackluster thing, but I love the fact that there's no like real visible hollow areas except for like in the inner arms and everything, and I'm pretty sure someone's actually already working on that. It's a kind of a shame that we actually have to like look for third parties or something to take care of that, but he's actually cool nonetheless and everything. He actually comes with this. His fists are actually very okay and everything. He's actually got like a lot going on his waist. I love the sculpting that's actually going on his legs throughout the lower legs and everything. To the back, we actually have this flatbed right over here. That's actually very cool, very good molding and everything. You know, we actually have this. This will actually become a separate weapon that you can actually take off of here and just kind of wiggle it off and everything more than anything else. It's actually secured here by this tab that goes into this slot right over here, and this that goes right into this window. But it is a very, very cool shield weapon and everything, and you can reverse it and kind of peg it in there. It doesn't really peg in as well, but it's actually still good to go. And then just like lift up that tab right over there, and you can actually peg it into his arms or into his weapon over here and everything, and that actually works really well also, you know? Now, I'm going to talk more about his mace weapon in a second, but let's take a look at this gun. Now, I really thought I was going to have a lot more in the way of issues with this gun altogether and everything. Energon weapons really didn't do it for me, but I'll tell you, this one right over here isn't so bad as I actually thought it would actually be. the blues actually really come out and everything. I really love the fact that it's actually kind of like that it's actually very much the machine gun, the Gatling gun here and everything. It's very, very cool. And I could actually see this throwing out like tons of energon and everything like that. As it's actually blasting away Decepticons and everything, or a common enemy, so that's actually very nice. I really like that a lot. Bulkhead's other accessory also has to deal with this right over here, his mace weapon, that you can actually open up and just wiggle it out just a bit and everything like that. And it is a very, very cool, sorry for shaking the camera, everyone, but it's a very cool mace weapon right over here, The silver actually really comes out in this, and I really love that. And as you can actually see, all you have to do is open it up. There is a peg that's actually right in there that goes either or on other side of his hand and everything. So if you actually put it on the left hand, you could actually put it right over here. If you're actually putting it on the right, you actually have to go over the top, and all you do is just slide that in and snap that in, and that's actually great. You can actually do some really, really great stuff with Bulkhead here. Bulkhead's articulation is really, really nice also. By the way, this Energon weapon, you can either store it in his hand, or there are pegs that are actually right on the side that you can actually put right over here. That are actually right on the side over there, and then all you have to do is just tab that in, and there you go. Mine actually works better on the left side, on the right side, than it actually does on the left side. So yours may vary and everything, but I really love the way he looks all together here. Now, his articulation is as follows. He actually can spin all the way around, pretty much uninhibited, except his chin actually kind of goes right to the back over here. So you can't really throw it all the way around to the back end and everything like that, but that's pretty much it. He actually has a slight down and a slight up. He actually has a hinge joint right over here on his shoulders. He can actually rotate all the way up and everything. He actually has bicep rotation right over here. He actually has a lot over 90 degrees over here on his elbow due to transformation. He has a lower waist joint right here. You can actually kick out that far. You can kick all the way back. He actually has, when moving his cape and everything like that, he actually has Kung Fu action right over here. Well, a little bit less than Kung Fu action, I'll tell you that. Oh, there we go. That's the Kung Fu that I'm actually looking for. Really, really nice right there. He actually has a little bit over 90 degrees right over here, also due to transformation. And he actually has ankle articulation, no dorsal, well, he actually does have dorsiflexion, doesn't he? Yep, so there you go. And one thing that I actually think would have actually been nice if they actually had figured out something for his foot right over here so it doesn't get broken with the ankle tilt or anything like that. But that's actually due to the fact that he actually transforms, and that will actually be shown in a moment. But I'm actually going to give you a closer look at this guy's face over here. That's really, really nice. Let me give you guys and girls a close-up look at his face here and everything. Because, he really does carry a lot more of Bulkhead than I thought he would have and everything. They really captured his design pretty well. And compared to his first edition self, really not too bad. Although I think the details in this are a lot finer. And I think they actually did they actually paid attention to a lot more detail on this version. But this one, you can actually see the nose is actually a little bit more subdued here and everything. But aside from that, it's actually really, really good. Paint job is actually very, very nice. I love this color of green here that they're actually using for Bulkhead. And everything else, he's got a wench right over here. I wish that was actually working, actually. Autobot symbol right on the front. He's got vents on the side of his shoulder and everything. Very, very nice. I already talked about his legs. I'm just really loving this. And once you actually get this out of the way, let's just take this and put it down someplace. There you go. Now you actually have all this added detail, which is actually really nice. Again, you may kind of like bitch about this whole entire thing with like him not having enough in the way of like his body cavity right over here. I don't know if there's like a real way for like a third-party person to actually come in and like cover those panels and make it transformable with the rest of his body or anything. So that's actually kind of a shame. But aside from that, he's actually really good. Couple of size comparisons are as follows. Transformers First Edition Transformers Prime Bulkhead with Transformers Legacy Bulkhead, Bulkhead and Wheeljack, Bulkhead and Hound makes a great pair right here. Like, look at these guys. Looks like they were part of the same regiment. And Bulkhead and Ultra Magnet. Transforming Bulkhead is really simple and intuitive at the same time. I like it. First off, we're just going to remove this. Now, you don't actually have to remove this if you don't want to, and I know a lot of people haven't or anything like that. I'm not going to break that tradition. I think I'm actually going to keep this on as I transform him just to show you guys that he can be transformed with it. But let's like start off by removing this, and we will start off the transformation as soon as I get that off. There we go. Now, what you want to do is detach this, open him up right over here. Now, he's actually going to have like a couple of tabs that actually go right into here, and that actually solidifies his waist and everything when you're actually transforming him. We're going to bring down, oh wait, actually, we're just going to bring this down first. There are a couple of like hinges that are actually right in the back here. You just want to bring that down. There we go. And pass it past that point right there. So bring that down. Not scary or anything like that, everybody. Just like, you know, sometimes it's actually hard to do and everything like that. By the way, the joints on this guy are super, super tight. Bring this over here. And I'm actually really surprised about that and everything coming from like, coming from these lines and everything where you actually do get like a lot of QC issues. I haven't really found a whole lot in the way of QC on Bulkhead here. Now, just bring this all the way up here. Now we're going to bring his arms together right here, and there are a couple of tabs that are actually right here and here. So you just want to squeeze everything in together and then bring his arms up and cover it up with the tab right over here, and cover it up with the front cap right here. Then we are going to take this off right over here, and at the same time break this piece right over here and extend it, and then just bring this right up like that. Then we're going to bring his feet down like so. And when you're actually transforming him, they didn't actually leave any extra tabs over here or anything like that. When you're actually transforming him back into robot mode, it's important that you can actually hold this, and then that's how you actually get those feet in. Otherwise, you're actually those feet out. Otherwise, you're actually going to be using a spudger to actually get that out. So again, as you're doing this, all you have to do is just hold onto this with a nail right over here, and then that should actually do it. It took me a moment to like actually see that, but now that I have, I can't unsee it, and that's great. Now, one half of the engine block actually comes out right over here, or like in the gas distributor pan right here. So all you have to do is do that and close this, and we'll actually go over here and we'll open this up and check this out. And that's actually on a ball hinge. That's actually on a ball joint right there. That's actually really great use for a ball joint altogether. Once you actually, before we bring the whole entire lower body up, one thing I did forget to do was bring this down here and then just tab them right against the sides. Then bring this whole entire lower body up. Bring his legs down right here and right here. And then after you do that, you actually want to tab these oil pans right into the side of his legs, like so. Like so. There we go. And then just tab this right over here. And then do the same thing on the other side. Just bring this in, tab it into his leg, then tab this right over here. Then you can actually squeeze his legs together And there you go. That's pretty much everything that you actually want to do with Bulkhead, except for one more thing. Now you actually want to like put his weapons right into his cab here. So you do that by using this hole, using that hole and putting it right into this peg right here. And now all you want to do is this, and just peg that right in here. Or, yeah, there we go. Right in there. And then all you have to do is close this up and then tab this right over here and right over here. There goes Bulkhead in vehicular mode. Now, if you expect me to be really down on this Bulkhead right over here, and a comparison between his old Transformers Prime first edition version and everything, I'm not going to be down on this guy at all. He is great. I really like this guy a lot. The one thing about this, though, is that you're actually comparing apples and oranges here and everything, where you actually have the mystique of perfect transformation and size mass changing right in this one. This one, there's a lost style with this and like a lost art when it actually comes down to doing what they actually did with Bulkhead right over here. I think that I've actually only seen this being done once, and that was pretty much it. Like I've actually seen like a lot of magic and like a lot of like these figures and everything like that. Optimus Prime actually did it with Earthrise. I think there are a few others that actually do kind of like what Bulkhead actually does. But Bulkhead actually really comes out as a heavy hitter in transformation and everything. And whoever it was that actually designed this, if he or she is actually gone from Hasbro or Takara, I think this person actually needs to be rehired once again or something. And I'm not exactly what the story is behind that, but let me tell you something. This is just a beautiful machine altogether. And you know how much I feel. You know how I feel about this from my last review of Bulkhead. With this version of it, it's a very, very cool toy. It's really nice and sturdy. It's actually got like a lot of play value going on into it. Rolls really nicely and everything. And I was actually kind of surprised about that because of like how the wheels were actually set in here. And just really, really nice. I love the fact that you can actually kind of like take this down, and then you actually have like this over here could actually be like an imaginary mine and that sort of thing. If you actually wanted to take this off altogether and just have it go like without that, look at that. That's actually still nice, you know? He actually still makes a really nice truck and everything, and I really love this styling here. I was actually kind of surprised that I actually did like that I'm actually liking it as much as I am. And it really just kind of like threw me for a loop and everything like that. And I was actually so about hating this mold and everything like that. I kind of like saw like what they actually did with like the cavity right over here, which this actually fills in perfectly. I just kind of wish that there was like another way to fill all of that in. And as far as empty spaces, I could say the same thing about Ultra Magnus here with like this vast empty space right over here. I think the only thing that really bugs me is the fact that it's actually a clear plastic. I'm going to say it again. Like, I really think it's a great figure. Hold on, I'm going to give you another comparison right now. I'm going to do that to show you exactly how he's actually going to fit in with like your Siege and Earthrise figures. So here he goes with Ultra Magnus here, and just really, really beautiful matching here and everything. I believe that they were actually part of the same team and everything. In which case, it doesn't hurt that they actually took like a lot of G1 license and put it into this guy and everything. I really can't wait to see exactly what they're actually going to use this mold for next and everything. But it really works with Bulkhead. I'm kind of surprised at myself saying that, but just really great. I love where they actually put the oil tankers here and everything. I love this design here and everything that actually makes you feel like it's actually supposed to be tarp over this canopy. I mean, over the back trunk here and everything. I really, really like that. And if you actually look under, there's no real kibble there or anything like that. Just really good stuff. Just like loving the rivets that are actually in here also. I think my main complaint over here is that it's probably going to be that it's actually made out of like mostly clear plastic. and I don't know exactly how that's actually going to last with time and everything, but we'll see. I'm actually going to be noticing if there's like any paint scratches or anything like that that comes up after a while and everything. I'm going to be like really harsh on this, and I will definitely be back with like stories and everything like that, or I will actually tell you exactly what happens to this within the course of time and everything. So I'll give it about a year or something, or like maybe 6 months before I actually come back to this guy again and just let you know exactly what my experience is with this guy. But so far, I'm actually really liking it. I'm actually recommending it, actually. So I'm going to give you some final thoughts in just a few moments. And I'm going to give you a little bit of Transformers Prime action with one other additional to the party. And let me tell you something. Bulkhead is actually really cool. I'm loving him. He's boxy, but he's nice, you know? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I really love this guy a lot. His design is actually pretty epic. He actually holds onto his own as owning this mold and everything. Like, he's actually really cool. I haven't gotten enough of him. I'm gonna give you some final thoughts in just a moment. And this tale of two bulkheads, which one is actually the best? Now, you know I'm actually still gonna go back for Transformers Prime. The first edition version is magical. You know, if you actually have the ability to get this somewhere out there in the world, find him, he's awesome. But if you decided to get this version is amazing too. I really love the sculpt. Everything that this guy actually does, he does right. And I'm actually really surprised about saying that about this guy. He's actually got like a little bit of waffling in the legs and everything like that, you know? You know somebody's actually gonna fix that. But aside from that, he's good. He's sturdy. He's actually a really great bot. The one thing, again, a word to the wise, the one thing I'm actually gonna say, like any negative comment about, is probably the fact that he's actually got a lot of clear plastic on the upper torso. That being said, just buyer beware. You know, that's all there is to it. Otherwise than that, he's excellent. I really think that I'm actually giving him like a 9 out of 10 more than anything else, you know? And I hope you find him. Enjoy. And that's it for me for another day of being Diecast Norbs. I really appreciate each and every one of you joining me once again. And again, everyone, when you actually go off and do your stuff today and everything, be kind to everyone. Be kind to yourselves because you deserve it. Also, keep remembering one mighty thing. When these stop being magical, that's when I'll stop collecting. I'll definitely talk to you all soon.